Yes. Yes, he's returned, the prodigy, son of Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
I ain't got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
But now the question is,
Has returned for a video where he speaks all about games. And what game is he speaking about? He's speaking about Gears of War.
Tom! No!
Hold up. I need to fix it. Shit. Shit.
Right, okay. Let's get into it. So Gears of War ED is an upcoming release. Developed by Coalition and published by Xbox Game Studios. It is taking place before the events of Gears of War 1. Will be released in October 2026 for all platforms, except from PS4, obviously, because an Xbox One, the only Xbox exclusive in existence currently. The last two Gears of War games that have been completely, they've been less than mid, they've been like below mid tier games. Gears of War 5 was like a very forgettable experience, and you can tell it was forgettable because I forgot basically everything about the game. Gears of War 4 wasn't much better, I can't lie. Gears of War 4 was like, ugh. So what? They've got the aliens for fucking Call of Duty Ghosts in it. So that just tells you exactly what you need to know about that. Gears of War Tactics. That's a pretty good it's a pretty good descriptor for Gears of War Tactics. It was the worst Gears game to ever be made. Conceptually, it was probably the worst game ever made. Ever by anybody. I just want to start off by saying the bar for these guys, considering their previous games are games such as Halo Infinite, which is fucking, everybody knows that, how well that went. Gears 4, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, all dog shit, and then a bunch of no-name fucking games that no one's ever heard of or played. I think it was called Relic. I've never fucking played that shit. It was a Facebook fucking game, and then they're just handed what Gears of War, the most influential Xbox title probably ever in the history of Xbox games. And we're expected to come into this with some kind of hope that they're gonna make a good game this time. You know what I'm saying? The campaign for this, what they're selling the game on is the campaign. It's going to be the longest campaign in the franchise. It's going to be online co-op. It's going to have split screen, which obviously split screen is a key component in any Gears of War game. If you were to remove split screen, that would just be a negative. It's not a positive that you have split screen in the most well-known co-op game in the world. They're going on about Unreal Engine 5. I don't really give a fuck how the game looks. Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 2. Mate, you could make it a fucking 65-bit game as long as it was fun. I'll play it. You know what I'm saying? Does not. Unreal Engine 5 is not a real draw factor to me into buying or purchasing a game, and it definitely shows if this is one of the main talking points for their development team, that the actual like things you would want to be good in the game, like the mechanics, the storytelling, the pacing, the multiplayer, fucking all these things are probably not really held in high regard if the biggest talking point is just the engine they made the game on. They're saying they've modernized certain aspects of the games. They've got like they're basically changing the whole pace in the Gears of War. They're basically doing what Call of Duty done when fucking they seen, what was it, Titanfall. It's like,
What? You could slide and jump at the same time in a video? What the fuck? We need that, bro.
yeah, they're basically doing that shit. I just need to take a minute here. I've been speaking a lot. I'll just take a minute here, and I'll just take a minute and stop belligerently rambling about factors in the game, and let's talk about. Let's take 2 steps back and talk about the development team here. The development team, there's been an interview with the development team that I'm gonna watch just now, and I'm not gonna watch all of the thing because it would take way too long, and I'm just not really that interested in it, to be completely honest. But I will go over their initial thoughts and stuff that they do for their interview right now. Right, let's get straight into this and see what it's like.
Changed over the past 7 years.
I mean, it's been a journey making E-Day, and it started really after we finished Gears 5 and Tactics. We shipped a bunch of things just afterwards, and around that time we were looking at what the next game was going to be, but also right around that time the world went into a big change. The pandemic hit. So at our studio we had a chance to reflect on Gears and the franchise. We talked to fans. We sort of explored what the game meant to us. At the same time, we had this crew that had been building games together for a decade or more, and
yeah, the crew that had been building and failing to produce games at the same level as games in the previous franchise created by Epic Games.
Specifically Gears, so we had deep affinity, obviously, with the franchise. People love it, but also a bunch of experience. And then through the pandemic,
They've missed that opportunity. Their Gears of War 4 and their Gears of War 5 went in weird directions. Didn't really hold a fan base well. Just wasn't really innovative at all. And even dropped a lot of innovation. Like, they even dropped a lot of good aspects. The previous games that were already like made, like they didn't even need to come up with any ideas. They just dropped this and said, "Oh, can't be fucked in that. Oh, we can't be fucked in Horde, or we can't be fucked in this, that, and the next thing. Can't be fucked in this."
did this reflection on the franchise. We picked our direction on E-Day, and we had this cool influx of new energy and people that joined the studio, along with some of the people that had been working together for so long. So yeah, lots of change, lots of familiar faces, lots of awesome energy, and drive.
I like how he's like, how's things changed? It's like, oh, we got some new people, and everybody's like, well, nothing's changed, so the game's gonna be just mid, like the other games were. You're not gonna go out your way to improve or to make sure things that have been picked up previously, learned through development of the game that work. You're just gonna make sure that you're not gonna make sure all of that gets into the game. You're just gonna cut corners and make a mid game.
Towards this vision we had for E-Day, and finally getting to near the finish line and getting to show it to people.
That's awesome. One of the things as we were walking into this room, I noticed a mural which seemed new, and the one that says "Never Fight Alone."
Yeah.
I would love to know what that means to the coalition.
Yeah, there's a lot of new murals. It's fantastic to see us kind of.
Okay, I do not care about murals. I want to know the game is in good hands. I don't want to know about murals.
Put that up into the studio because we've really elevated over the past few years as kind of like a mantra inside the team. It's kind of always been around for Gears. It's been a tagline sometimes, but it actually was in like a design doc way back, and it really was kind of meant to describe co-op play. But over time, it's just taken on a lot more meaning for us in terms of, you know, why we build Gears, you know, the stories that we tell in our games, the values that we have as a team and how we work as a team and how we support each other. And then also kind of what's going on, you know, with our fans and how they relate to the game and the stories. And ultimately, it's just about like having each other's backs and like getting through life. And, you know, it's a really nice rallying call to everything that we do, and it kind of brings everything home in terms of what Gears means to us.
I don't care what Gears means to you. Because what it means to you is irrelevant. Because the game is not being made for you. It's been made for the fans of the game. Hate to break that news to you if you're just now realizing that the game is not made for you, bro. It's made for people to play and enjoy, and to be recognized by the people that have already bought the game so that they'll buy it again.
And to fans and yeah, just what we're making.
How is the team feeling here in this final stretch before launch this fall?
I think the team's feeling pretty good. This is kind of the time where we've put.
I think the team is feeling pretty good. Well, if they're not confident, if they're not absolutely brilliant, they're like, oh man, this is exactly the way I wanted it to be, and everything I wanted in the game is out there. No, these guys. I bet the development team's pulling their hair out because they're like, oh bro, we could have done this, we could have done that, but no, we can't do this, because creative director said such and such. Oh no, we can't do this, we can't do this. Oh, but this was meant to be in the game, and this was in the other games. Oh no, we can't have this because the art directors are funny. Oh man. And they'll be like, we must have more Indian people.
Put in a ton of effort, but the finish line starts to show itself, and I think that's really invigorating because you start to realize that all the hard work we've done, you know, it's gonna come out soon, and people will get to see it finally. So I personally, I'm feeling pretty invigorated. You know, like I said, we have been cranking for a long time. I'm sure fans are wondering what took so long, but we just, you know, I think as you start to see the product come together, you start to get the sense of, you know, whether you've fulfilled all the promises you made.
Right, this imagery right here is what's gonna build, right? This is what's gonna build the backing for the game from fans, as seen Dom and Marcus, right? This feasibly, right, should be a very successful game, right? I think it's a good idea what they've done. The previous two games were just mid, so they're going and they're bringing the clock back to when the game was in its peak, and they're trying to recreate the peak, doing it well by picking this specific time in the game story, right? And not just bringing them back to life and continuing with a weird gay love triangle story.
I'm gay.
Popular. But can they make a game to the standard, to the same standard equivalent as it was back then? Because Gears of War's, the standard of game that Gears of War was released to was exponential. Like, it was so good compared to like most other games. It was just, you know, there was no comparison, right? If this was released today, are they going to make a game that is of equal comparison to how it was back then? Because that's really what's going to make or break. It's not going to be Dom's face being plastered all. It's going to be how good can they make a game? How innovative can they be? What can they bring back for the previous? What can they learn from the previous games that held the player base? That's what's going to really hold these games together. Say it right now. I don't usually say this. I'm going to get the game because this is a direction I feel like where the way they're going backwards in the story and stuff, it shows that they're trying to recreate what we like instead of try to force some kind of like agenda down us with like these new recreations of classic games. So I will get the game. I genuinely don't see how I don't see a world of which this flops. And if it does, if it really is a tragic game, these developers should never be trusted with anything ever again, because this is the easiest game to make successful. The game's name makes it successful. That's it. Fuck, drop my phone. Oh shit, I'm pressing the wrong keys. Fuck, it's all falling apart. I'm falling apart.